Volodymyr Raffayenko is an outstanding Ukrainian novelist. He wrote and published it entirely in Russian 10 years ago. He won literary awards for his work, including the prestigious Russian Prize awarded in Moscow. In July 2014, Raffayenko was forced to flee his hometown after the Kremlin staged a secret takeover. He remembered standing on Donetsk's central boulevard named after the Russian poet Alexander Pushkin as soldiers filed in. I saw a military unit coming. With my beliefs, I realized that it was time to leave. Raffayenko said. Vladimir Putin said he annexed Crimea and much of the Donbas region to liberate the Russian people. The allegation infuriates Raffayenko. This was a blatant lie aimed at a Western audience. My conscience started to hurt. I was 46 years old and did not speak Ukrainian. I decided to learn to a level where I could speak and write. Raffayenko moved to Kiev, leaving behind his work as a writer, literary critic, poet and academic. I started learning Ukrainian 3.5 years later. He published his 7th book, Mondegreen, his first book written in Ukrainian. His second Ukrainian novel, Petrikor, will be published soon. Since Putin's invasion, Raffayenko has refused to speak Russian. We talk about this as a family, he said. The decision not to use Russian as a literary medium is part of a trend that began with the post-communist independence of Ukraine. Several writers adopted Ukrainian as a symbolic gesture. However, for 20 years, Russian books dominated, accounting for 8,085 of the Ukrainian book market. Volodymyr Raffayenko began learning Ukrainian after fleeing Russian-speaking Donetsk in 2014. Volodymyr Raffayenko after 2014. Many Ukrainians stopped speaking Russian. Publishing houses added more Ukrainian books. After the occupation last year, they completely abandoned Russian books. Copies disappeared from websites and stores. Thousands of Russian texts are in warehouses waiting to be destroyed. Once a Russian-speaking city, Kiev has decisively switched to Ukrainian, spoken in shops, restaurants and homes. Literary discussion also migrated. This week's Lviv Book Forum, held in partnership with Britain's Hay Festival, is being held in Ukrainian and English. More than 50 writers will participate. According to Raffayenko, Ukraine's linguistic change reverses the process of Russification. The novelist said that his grandmothers were native Ukrainian speakers. They were forced to learn Russian at school. Without Russian, you couldn't get a job or get promoted. Raffayenko added that Soviet planners sent Russian-speaking experts to work in factories in Donbas, which changed the ethnic mix of the region. His novel Mondegreen tells the post-2014 story of a refugee named Harbor Habinsky, who fled from Donetsk to Kiev. The book is playful and suggestive, with bursts of fantasy and nightmare, in the tradition of magical realism. My main hero is the Ukrainian language. There are word games and linguistic games.